Today we are expecting to learn which schools are closing in Jefferson County. The recommendation from the superintendent will be sent to all Jeffco employees, families, and members of the community at 5 o'clock tonight. Full details will be posted online. Jeffco started considering school closures last month, citing declining enrollment. The district already closed 2 elementary schools at the end of the last school year. This year there are currently 49 elementary schools, more than half of the total in the district, with fewer than 250 students total, or with a building that's less than 60% full. Shocking but not surprising, a rideshare driver who captured a drive-by shooting on camera says she's well aware of gun violence in the metro area.
Yeah, now she shared that video with 9 News reporter Noel Brennan.
I drive for Lyft and Uber, so I'm a night crawler doing the late night weekends.
When Rhonda Colbert hits the road, her dash cam records.
It is hidden behind the rear view mirror.
Most drives through Denver aren't worth documenting.
I like the late night driving because there's less cars on the road, but you have to be hyper vigilant of who's on the road with you.
She learned that lesson after midnight this past Sunday.
I have that saved under my downloaded videos.
Rhonda's dash cam rolled as she drove passengers down Park Avenue near Coors Field.
Okay, that doesn't sound right. And this guy's going down the wrong way. And then it was like, oh my God, like, what's happening?
Oh, those are gunshots, y'all.
Literally, we could see flashes outside the driver's side window of the vehicle who was shooting.
Oh, those are gunshots, y'all.
You didn't know where he was aiming or who the target was, just the noise.
Despite all the gunfire, Denver police say no one was hurt and no shooter has been caught.
Just some punk out there trying to prove something.
Rhonda believes what her dash cam captured is only a snapshot of violence.
You can be caught up in this at any time. There were so many other innocent bystanders on that road that were leaving downtown Denver besides myself. But it's just nice for other people to be aware that this is going on downtown. It's not a rarity. It's actually pretty consistent every weekend.
Rhonda drives enough downtown to see a pattern. It was only a matter of time before she caught it on camera.
It could have been really bad.
Noel Brennan, 9 News.
Those are gunshots.
Could have been really bad. Rhonda says she shared her video to TikTok, has more than 850,000 views right now.
Developing this morning, arrests at Union Station are up, way up, 200% compared to last year, and the union says the problems aren't going away. 9 News reporter John Glasgow is live from Union Station for us this morning, and John, Denver police have increased patrols there and clearly making more arrests.
Yeah, that's right. Denver police have made more than 1,100 arrests here at Union Station since January. As you mentioned, that's up 200% from the same time period last year. Although RTD operators, they say that these problems aren't going away. In fact, they're moving down the line to another stop. So Denver police did increase patrols here over the last few months. They increased transit officers as well after multiple complaints from RTD riders who said Union Station has become unsafe. The Union for RTD employees even called this, quote, lawless around this area. The city has also made upgrades to Union Station to deter crime. RTD is also bringing in a paid fare only zone, a way to keep people away from hanging around the area. Now it's helped things there, but at a safety committee meeting with council members on Tuesday, the city admits that the crime and drug issues are relocating to other RTD stops.
We also know that when we address with such focus and intensity a problem in one location, it often moves to another. We saw that with Civic Center Park. We have been seeing that at Union Station. Colfax and Broadway is a classic example now where challenges have migrated to.
So RTD says that it's working with some of the other metro area law enforcement to try to crack down on some of those new problem areas. RTD also announced a new police chief this week. He hopes to add more officers to make his team more visible in some of those trouble spots.
Yeah, we'll see what happens now that he's in that new role. John, as we head into the fall, the city says the weather could really make things worse.
Yeah, that's right. They say that when it dips down in temperature and the cold weather hits, this becomes a refuge for a lot of these people experiencing homelessness. They go down into the bus terminal and they stay warm. Now, as we get into the fall months, the city says that they are preparing for an increase of activity down there. They do say that that is on their radar. However, when I walked down there this morning to see how things have changed, I've been down here several times since January, I did notice that it was quite a bit different than it was last time. It's a lot more safe.
Okay. John, thank you. Aurora police say they have finally found the fugitive responsible for an hours-long standoff that happened last week. Police say officers picked up 38-year-old Alexander Smith last night in Denver in a neighborhood near Steele and 29th. That's about 4 miles west of the area where this standoff happened at East 19th and Akron in Aurora. Last Thursday, Aurora police thought Smith was in a home there and ordered a shelter in place for people in the area. Hours later, they went inside and found that the house was empty. Smith was wanted on 2 warrants, one for escape and the other for being a felon in possession of a firearm. Boulder County has finished one of the biggest projects in its history, clearing debris and ash from the Marshall Fire, a significant milestone in a long and slow recovery that crawls along at the 8-month mark. The county says it's removed ash, debris, concrete, and waste from 566 homes. All of the homeowners who opted into the county's debris removal rather than setting it up themselves. Most of the lots are now dirt patches, though there has been some rebuilding happening in these neighborhoods. Workers hauled away 104,000 tons of ash. They recycled 65,000 tons of brick and concrete and another 2,400 tons of metal.
Right now, emergency managers across the state are working on an issue. The systems that they use to send information is sending out messages that are in English, but not really other languages. Many rely on Google Translate, but that isn't always reliable. Larimer County thought they had a little better translation solution. But now they have a problem with that. The county uses an app called ReachWell. It sends messages in other languages. It's supposed to automatically connect to their normal alert system. But the county's emergency telephone authority says that connection just stopped working last week. They worked on it, they got it fixed, and it's working again, but then it sent out expired messages about a flash flood risk. The county is going to stop using the automatic connection to the app. That means they will manually input emergency messages that they've already sent out in English in order to reach people who speak other languages. Well, this morning, Loveland is joining cities in Colorado in telling people without a home that they cannot camp in the city. But the city isn't fully enforcing that rule yet, the emergency unauthorized encampment ban. They say that it's because of shelter resources for people targeted by the law. Loveland leaders passed the ban on May 17th. In a meeting last night, city leaders said they're worried about the growing number of people living in the camps, plus property damage, public safety, and even fire risk. But the city says it won't enforce the ban unless it can give people a shelter bed and storage area, and they can't fully do that right now because there's not enough. The city started using some motel rooms. It scaled up bed capacity throughout the summer months at the Resource Center. During last night's town hall, city leaders shared a proposed site south of Railroad Avenue and 3rd Street. They say it'd have overnight beds, portable bathrooms, and support services.
It takes a lot for somebody to regain trust in a system. And if it's a shelter system, if it's law enforcement, if it's the government, it doesn't happen quickly. So we keep our doors open so that people have that opportunity to come in and test the system to see what we're about, what kind of services we'll offer, and whether or not they'll feel welcome and get their needs met.
That new shelter site that's proposed is not far from downtown Loveland. Public reaction on it seems to be mixed.
You're gonna increase homelessness in Loveland.
Do I have someone?
It's a horrible idea. No, thank you.
And I do believe that this is going to help people. However, I really want to know, how do you gauge success? And then also, how do you pull the plug?
Not everybody that is unhoused is drunk or on drugs. And the number of people in this town that are one paycheck away from being homeless is a lot bigger than you think, and they might be sitting right next to you.
As of August 15th, Loveland counted 47 encampments. 25 have been cleaned up. 31 people relocated so far. City says homelessness has increased by 19% over the past 2 years.